Hi everybody, it's Cindy with Sunshine Yoga, Pilates and more in Gilbert Town Square, Gilbert, Arizona. And what I'd like to show you today is how you can get your finger mobility to come back with some active isolated stretching. This can be done anywhere. It can be done as you're driving a car, right? It can be done watching television. It doesn't take much of anything at all except for your fingers. Same thing that we did with the feet, we're just going to continue and do that with our hands. So we're going to go ahead and start by just opening up as wide as you can and then closing them in. Opening up as wide as you can and then closing them in. So just go to the point where you feel a little discomfort, but not to the point of pain. And I know a lot of people with arthritis, this is really hard to do. And it may be just opening them up to where you can. But you want to try and keep that movement going as much as you possibly can. It just kind of helps oil the joint, so to speak, yeah? And if you do this a few times, you're going to notice, wow, my hands are getting a little bit warm. So that's a good indication that some blood flow is getting into where we need it to go. Okay, let's do that one more time. Open and close. And that should feel, they should feel pretty warm. And your hands might even get a little more pink too as we start to work on these. So we're going to start with the hands down on the ground. And we're just going to lift one finger up at a time and release that down. And lift it up and take it back down again. And lift up and just take it right to where you feel you can go comfortably. And it's that same 2-second hold at the end, right? So lift and lower and lift and lower. So as you're watching television, I'm going to move on to my ring finger here. Lifting and lowering. Watching television, this is super easy to do. And you want to be able to keep those mobility through the fingertips, through all joints in the fingers, as well as the wrist. And lift and lower. And then moving on to our middle finger and lift up. And you're going to notice, oh, certain fingers feel a little bit tighter. Yeah, that's completely normal. Good. And lift up and back down. And lift up and back down. And then the index finger, same thing. Pull back. Index fingers tend to be a little bit more flexible. Obviously, we kind of use those a little bit more throughout the day. And lift up and lower. Good. One more time and lift up. And you can even lift the thumb up and over. Okay. And then once I'm done with this, then we'll go and do the same thing with your opposite hand. Whatever hand you chose, just flip it over to the next one. And hand comes down, we're going to lift up through the pinky first and bring it down. Probably a difference between the right hand and left hand. Quite normal. And lift up, hold 2 seconds and release. And lift up and release. Go back over to the ring finger, same thing. Pull up. Ooh, this one does not like to move. And pull up. I'm right-handed too, so this is kind of, but I can feel a little bit more restriction through this finger than I did with my others. Okay, let's do one more here. And then to the middle finger, same thing. Pull up and lift. Yeah, my right side is definitely tighter than my left side. And pull up and release. And pull up and release. Lift and lower. Index finger, same thing. That one goes back a little bit more and pull up. And I'm giving about, I'm stretching pretty good because I'm trying to see where my limit is, but I'm not cranking on it so much that it's painful. It's just that comfortably uncomfortable spot is where I want to go with this. Okay, and then same thing with the thumb, pulling up and lift. Good. All right, so just kind of shake those out a little bit. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is try to pull the fingertips down towards. So as I look this way, I want that fingertip to come all the way down and see if I can't touch the palm of my hand. So pulling that down. And then I'm just going to move through the fingertips one at a time, trying to touch as low as they can, and then the thumb's going to come all the way across. So that fingertip's going to come down like this. then the ring finger, then the middle finger, and the index finger. And the thumb comes all the way over to the top. So I'm just giving a little bit of an assist at the top to pull that down, pull that down, pull that down, pull that down, and the thumb. Okay, same thing on this hand. Pull the finger down. So then the ring finger comes down, then the middle finger, then the index, and the thumb goes across. My other hand's helping out down here, can you see? Bring the pinky down, give it a little bit of a pull. Ring finger comes down, give it a pull. Middle finger comes down. Index finger, and the thumb. And then shake those out. So I'm going to do splits with my fingers now, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to put my middle finger and my index fingers together, and I want to see how close can I get those fingers to, I call them the splits because that's in my gymnastics background, that's kind of where I go with. So I just pull here, hold for 2 seconds, and release, and pull. So I'm going to do these about 3 times each, and then I'm going to move on to my next set. So then the middle finger comes up, and the index finger goes down. Doing splits that way. 2 and 3. Then I'm going to move down. So my index finger and my ring finger are going to be the ones that are chatting with each other now. So I've got them going this way. 1 and 2. And this is a little harder stretch. You're not going to get as much flexibility. Just be careful with the webbing of the fingers, just like with the toes. In between each finger, the tissue's a little tender. And then switch your split, so you're going to go opposite direction. Good. And it actually feels really good. It opens up. And then changing that out, so it's finally the pinky and the ring finger are going to do their splits. And 3. And then change it up so the ring finger goes up, pinky goes down. Ah, yeah. Ooh, that needed that. And 2. So if you hear any like cracking or something like that, it's normal, but it shouldn't be painful. It should just feel like, oh, it feels like a really good stretch. Yeah? Good. All right, and then shake those out a little bit. So you can also spread the fingers apart as well. So if they're doing a straddle this way, so take them apart, take them apart, take them apart, take them apart. And you just want to get all kinds of movement going throughout the fingertips. So I forgot the thumb and the index finger. If you press this out, they should actually lay pretty flat together as you're doing that. Just try and get that mobility through the thumb and that index finger. Okay. And then finally, we're going to take the fingertips and just cross them over, one on top of the other one. So the ring finger goes over to the index finger. The middle finger is going to go over towards the thumb, and the index goes over that way too. And then crisscross them the opposite direction. The opposite direction and opposite direction. And your thumb should be able to cross over all 4 knuckles as well as you take that over. Ah, yeah, not happy. Okay, crisscross fingers on this side, cross it over, cross it over, cross it over, and over. Go opposite way, cross it back, back, and then take my thumb all the way over that way. Let those fingers get a little bit of movement in them. And then, so what you can also do, like I said, if you're driving your car, yeah, so you got the steering wheel out here, and you're at a stoplight, what you can do is place one finger on the bottom of the steering wheel and just press down a little bit, and you should feel like I'm going to use my block here as my car steering wheel. So you can just press the fingertip through, press the fingertip through, press the fingertip through. And it just kind of gives you something to push up against. And you can do the splits up against the steering wheel as well. Flip that way. Yeah. So anytime you can just get any opening that you can use a steering wheel. You can use a book at home to do the same thing. So if you got them this way, you can see if you can, can you wander your fingertips up and down any way that they can go. And then finally with the wrist, moving them down, pressing down. So a lot of these stretches, we used to do in gymnastics all the time. So all you little gymnasts out there, you guys already know how yummy this can feel and how much it helps just with the mobility and being able to grab things and moving those muscles along. So play with your fingers, play with your toes, and I will see you soon. Bye.